It was a Friday at the end of May. A seemingly ordinary day. The three of us, me, my friend, and our buddy headed to the hospital complex, as there was a bridge on the way there that we wanted to visit. It is small, passes through an overgrown ravine, but there is something attractive and fascinating about it. The journey took about 20 minutes, and when we reached the place, we found that the weather had changed dramatically. From sunny, summery, she became somehow murderously gloomy. At that time, we were already in the complex itself. Red-haired, one-story oblong buildings like a skin dispensary and a morgue surrounded us, and the buildings, of course, had not originally intended any canopies to shelter from the storm. We decided to implement some of our plans. Turning right, diagonally through the woods, we reached an abandoned building. It was completely uncomplicated, a gray two-story house with a double vestibule. The guys and I eagerly jumped into the building. The homeless interior of classic abandoned buildings appeared before us. To the left of the vestibule was a pair of recesses with doors partially knocked out. The remains of the second floor could be seen from above. It was all shrouded in darkness. We went into the main room. It was spacious and had a rectangular shape. The windows were only on the second floor. The whole floor was littered with products of human bad habits, flasks, and often corpses of birds. It was interesting for me to get into this building, but that day I didn't feel good for a second. From time to time, the doors in the vestibule rattled from the draft, and every time I shuddered. My friends, apathetically buried in their phones, looked at me askance, considering me a coward. We had a short dialogue, in which the steel door in the far left corner of the room was mentioned. During this dialogue, we noticed that the rain had subsided a little, and we thought about leaving this stupid place. Then the doors slammed once again, and a fat, tall, bald man entered the building. Because of my poor eyesight, I never got a good look at my face. There was also nothing particularly remarkable about his clothes. The guys and I looked at each other, scared. Standing in the aisle and closing the only passage to the corridor, looking at us, the man asked, "Are you guys hiding from the rain too?" It sounded somehow assertive, accompanied by an attentive bestial look. None of us were particularly talkative, and we reluctantly shook our heads. The man disappeared from sight, but, as it seemed to us, did not leave. The storm broke up outside. Lightning flashed one after another. Thunder rumbled. My friends are back on their phones. To my hysterical whisper, they replied that the man was normal and harmless. But when it comes to recognizing danger, I'm used to relying solely on myself. Rushing swiftly to the large steel door, I discovered to my horror and alarmed friends that not even part of my head would fit through that crack. From afar, everything seemed completely different. This state of affairs absolutely scared me. I ran to my friends so that the man wouldn't think that I suspected him of something. Soon he came in again and asked with great force and determination, "You don't have any money? My brother is a convict, and he needs money. I'm a convict too." Discouraged by this statement, we were silent, looking at each other, and, as a result, shook our heads negatively. Something flashed in his eyes, and he disappeared from our field of vision. We were trapped. The real thing. As the most enterprising, I immediately rushed to collect glass and other sharp objects from the floor. The thunderstorm was rumbling so that the windows were shaking, and I was shaking with them. After a couple of minutes, I begged my friends to go outside and wait out the storm under a canopy, as we could escape there. We went outside, and there was a narrow single-lane highway and roadside vegetation in front of us. My friend, who was very frugal, decided that now was the time to go back there for her mountain bike and rushed back. My friend and I reluctantly turned around after her. Then we saw the same guy running out of the darkness on the left side of the room. We stood at the entrance in complete confusion. Run to call for help or help yourself now. What if it's too late? In the end, our feet carried us into ruin on their own. Standing at the entrance to the corridor, we saw the most terrible picture. Ahahia. You say there's no money? You're all liars. I want to teach you a little lesson. My servant is coming now and we will punish you all. People like you will grow up to be liars and freaks.